today the topic of our discussion, the AVL tree. So very concisely, the AVL tree's definition can be given as that it is a height balanced binary search tree. So whatever the properties of a binary search tree that are retained here in the AVL tree also, at the same time it has an additional property that it should be height balanced. Now, to define this concept of height balance, we should know about the terminology called balance factor. So, balance factor is defined for each and every node individually. So, balance factor of a node, of a given node, is the difference between the height of the left subtree and height of the right subtree. Now, here there is a binary tree. It is not a binary search tree. We don't know what are the values stored here, and it is may not be a binary search tree, but it is a binary tree. We know about this. Now, the concept of balance factor we can apply for any other binary trees also, because it had the left subtree as well as the right subtree for each and every node. Now, the balance factor of this node is 0 because it is a leaf node, so both the subtrees are empty. So 0 minus 0 is 0. But balance factor of this node is 1 because the height of this subtree is 1 and height of this subtree is 0. Because there is no nodes here, but here only one node, at least one node is present. So balance factor of this node is 1. Similarly, the balance factor of this node is also 1, but their depth is not same. The height, depth as well as height both are not same, but still this node's balance factor is 1. So in this case, the height of the left subtree is 1, 2, and right subtree is only 1. So 2 minus 1 is the balance factor of this node is 1. So by that way we can calculate the balance factor of this node also. Okay. Now we can find that balance factor of this node is 2. Balance factor of this one was minus 1. Why minus 1? Because the left subtree's length was 0, right subtree's length was 1. So 0 minus 1 is resulting in minus 1. But for the calculation of balance factor of this node, left subtree's length is, height is 2, but the right subtree is empty. So 2 minus 0, that is 2. Similarly, for this one it is minus 3, but for this one this is plus 3. And this node have the balance factor of left subtree's height is 1, 2, 3 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 minus 5, so minus 2. So hope from this you have understood how the balance factor can be calculated. Now, for being a AVL tree, if we ensure that these values are here, are fulfilling the property of binary search tree, that means that any node are fulfilling the left subtree's values are smaller than the parent node and right subtree's values are either equal or greater than the given node. That is the property of a binary search tree. If at the same time the tree are fulfilling the restriction on the balance factors, then we may term a given binary search tree as a AVL tree. So this example, if we put the values here and to fulfill the binary search tree property, still it will not be a AVL tree because of the nodes are not maintaining the properties in the balanced one. So a binary search tree will be called as a height balanced, or it is a real tree if the balance factor of each of the nodes in the tree lies between this interval. So definitely the balance factors cannot be a fractional value, it must be an integer. So only the allowed balance factors are -1 and 0 and +1. So in this interval, practically only 3 values will be lying. Now, in this example, this node, these 4 values are not fulfilling the condition of this balance factor range. So that's why the whole tree is not a real tree. So now we have to do some kind of operation in the binary search tree after any maintenance operation is performed. Maintenance operation may be the insertion operation or it may be a deletion operation. After that, the balance of the binary, the AVL tree may be altered and we have to maintain it again. So for that one, there are some operations defined, and if we follow those steps, then we will again get back a AVL tree. So insertion to the binary search, the AVL tree will be done in a similar way that we did in the binary search tree. That is the first step of the AVL tree's insertion operation. Now, after putting the value in the required leaf node, our operation in the binary search tree was completed. But in the AVL tree, after putting it in the required position, we have to check whether is there any imbalance arose due to this new insertion. So let us take a example. Say we are having a empty binary search tree. Now say we have inserted the value 10. So it will definitely come to the root node. This is the leaf also. So here we will insert. After that, if we have inserted the value 20, assume that this is a binary search tree, because for these are a trivial situation for binary search tree as well as the AVL tree also. So an empty tree will be always a balanced, a single node tree will be always a balanced one. So we know that don't have to check for the balance factors. But the second time, whenever we will insert a new data, it may be bigger than 10 or smaller than 10. So let us assume that we have inserted 20 here. So the value will be coming to this side and we will put it here. And these two will be done. Now, if we calculate the balance factors of these nodes here, then we will find the balance factor of this one will be 0 and this will be -1. And there is no other nodes present in the tree. And these ranges of the values are valid for a AVL tree. So we can stop our maintenance operation here. So tree the value 20 was successfully inserted. Now after this operation, if we have inserted a new value again, Say this time we have inserted 30 to this tree. Then by following the binary search tree insertion operation, we can find that the value 30 will come to this position. If this was the binary search tree only, then our operation would have been finished here. But this time this is not a binary search, it is a AVL tree. So after putting the 30 in this own position now, let us calculate the balance factors of the nodes. Balance factor of this one is 0. This is -1. Still it is valid. But balance factor of this one is -2. If it is -2, so this is not inside the recommendable range of the balance factors. So we need to do some maintenance operation so that balance factor of these nodes come to the ranges within the recommendable ranges. So remember, before we inserted our data, new data, before that, what was the tree? That was a AVL tree. So all balance factors was within the range. So if we insert here a new data here, then it may violate the balance factor property, but this will not disturb the entire tree, but it will affect only few parts only. So here this node having the -2 balance factor is under the imbalance, but this node has gone under imbalance due to the insertion of this value 30. So for referral of our stability of referral in our discussion here, I will use the term sufferer for this node or victim, and I will refer this newly inserted node as the culprit. So 30 was inserted right now, and for that one some other node has become imbalanced. So I have used the terminology, this is the culprit for the imbalance occurred here, and that was suffered by this node. So now we have to do some activities within this value from victim and till the culprit. Who are the nodes that are between victim and culprit? Only those will be taken under our consideration. So now from this one, if we can result a tree of this form, if only these 3 nodes are there, then if we can result to this tree, then this tree will be in the balanced form. So our target will be that we have to do some minimal number of pointer assignments so that by accessing the root of the tree, we get this kind of structure. And we don't know actually where the root was there. It may be the root or it may be a branch of some other predecessor nodes there. So now, if for our simplicity, let us refer all these pointer variables here. So here 4 pointer variables are there that should not be touched. They have to come to their own positions. Now again you can see, if we just handle these 3 values that are coming here also, still we are having 4 pointers here. So here in this diagram also we have 4 free pointers, and in this diagram also we have 4 free pointers. And depending on our situation of deletion, it may happen these pointers are not null. So those values also should be retained so that no data is lost from the tree here. So now this situation, practically we can visualize that from this tree was resulted due to a operation performed here, that we have tried to rotate the tree around this imbalance node. This node has the imbalance, so around this node we have rotated it towards the left side. So from that one we will get this one. But if our imbalance was formed due to some other kind of structure, say if the tree was of this form, now we have inserted 15. Now the imbalance of this one is still -2. Now let us take this is the our binary tree, and we have inserted 15. So culprit will be our victim is again 10, and the culprit is 15. And if we just try to handle the tree as we handled it here, then what we will find that if we just follow the same pointer assignments, it will result to a different tree. So again this side will be again imbalanced. So we cannot treat this situation and this situation in the same way. So in a binary search tree, we can have 4 different situations of imbalance. They can be seen . So sometimes this is the my victim node, this is the culprit node. Due to this culprit, this is the victim. In this situation, or this is the culprit, this is the victim. And you can observe that all these victim nodes are in the balance factor of greater than 2 or less than -2. Greater than -1 or less than -1. But whatever be the structure of the imbalance tree, our main target is that we have to achieve this form of balance tree. After the insertion of A, this tree resulted, but we have to bring it to this form. Or after the insertion of B, this resulted, but we need this form. So basically we need different kind of rotations here, and we give some reference name to them. So this, from this situation to this situation, whatever the operation that we will perform, if this one will go to this form, we have to pull it towards the right side around the imbalance node, then it will be resulted. And this is called as LL rotation. We are pulling it towards right. The name is called LL rotation because the culprit who resulted in this imbalance was the left side of the victim. So this LL is practically referring to relationship from the culprit to the victim, not from the victim to the culprit. It is the left side of the victim. This is called RL rotation, because here B is the culprit, so B is the right side of the left side of the victim node. B is the culprit, so it is the right side of left side of C. So don't read it from the top to bottom. It's bottom to top. Culprit to the victim. So similarly, it is RR rotation and it is the LR rotation. If we read the LL and RR from the top side or bottom side, still there will be no confusions. So it will be called LL rotation, or it is RR. But your main confusion will be here. If we read it from top side, somebody will mistake it as the left LR rotation. But practically this is the RL rotation, because it is the right side of the left side of the victim node. So these 4 different situations may arise, and our target is to, from this one we have to move it to this. So these 4 rotations will be needed. So we will discuss these 4 different operations separately in the next video.